I'm Simmons Bunton, and I am the editor-in-chief of Terrain.org, a journal of the built and natural environments. And I'm also a poet, the author of a couple different books. And I will be teaching Animals and Poems that begins on Groundhog's Day, oddly enough, February 2nd. So the course is, I think, a pretty wonderful combination of both workshopping students' work and reading a real rich mix of animal poems. Poems about animals, poems written from an animal's perspective, poems in the shapes of animals. I don't know if we'll have any poems actually written by animals, but I'm not going to throw that off the syllabus just now. What I think is wonderful about poetry is the literary surprise, the element that you don't expect that is a harbinger of delight and thinking that maybe you didn't have before. And so stumbling across a badger on the edge of the wash, for example, well, that sort of opens up a channel that you didn't have before, much like a good poem does. So living in the Sonoran Desert, we have, of course, a great array of wildlife from which we could choose if we were going to study an animal for this class. And I think I will assign a journal and do an exercise like that. One of my favorite animals is the coyote, and I've written a poem called Coyote. And what's great about that is it can bring in all of the sort of peripheral or maybe really inherent mythology, spirituality of the coyote, and turn that a bit to make it a personal poem that renders the sort of wildness of the animal and the wildness of the writer. In this third series of classes, we will once again take a field trip. And in this case, we're going to go to the Arizona Sonora Desert Museum. And the field trips have been rated pretty highly by the students. And I think that's in part so that we can get out of the classroom and also so that we can explore, we mentioned the literary habitats, but the places that animals live, look at the animals, write poems that are inspired by being, if not connected to, at least in a visceral space with those animals. So again, we'll go to the Arizona Sonora Desert Museum and we'll spend about a half day there with reading and writing and workshopping student poems too. And it's just going to be a lot of fun. One of the wonderful things about the Poetry Center is this mix of people that is brought together from all walks of life, whether academic or not, and this mix of resources. And by that, really, I mean books and staff who have wide knowledge and can direct folks to where they want to go, what they're looking for. Likewise, in the class, I think we access an array of animal poems and discussion, and that, I think, results in community. And by that, I mean a sense of the place that we're at, a broader cohesion, collaboration even, than what we come into the class with. And whether that extends beyond the class, I can't necessarily say for every person, but it certainly does for me, and I've heard that it does for others as well.